let's talk about it. Caribbean people and African people are all black people, but there's always some dividing difference which allows us to stand on two different sides of the fence as if we don't all get grouped in the same ID parade as the same thing. But anyway, we'll talk about it for context because I feel that on my channel, I like to have these conversations with my black community because I've noticed that a lot of you lot are subscribed, which I'm very thankful for, and you like and you definitely drop comments when we have conversations like this. So let's get straight into it. Growing up, as a Caribbean child, me meeting African men and wanting to know more about their culture, was always a fascination. You're always going to be fascinated with shit you don't know, I grew up around Caribbean men. Caribbean men are showing me about Caribbean things. Understandably, my father, my uncle, so on and so forth, my nan, showing me about Barbados and all that, because that's where my family are from, well, one half, So when I meet African people, I'm asking them about their culture because there's some things what I learn online and I learnt through like friends at school. But the difference is that we all have a different take on it and a different twist on it. But we've got to communicate for us to understand and want to know more. I have a thirst for always knowledge, so I'm always asking questions in the right mannerism. I'm not overstepping the boundary, you know what I mean? I'm not asking, man, did you eat with your hands and all that? I understand that that's a thing. I'm not saying that I won't do it. I'm saying that I'll give it a try, but it's not something I like to do. Do you understand? But I'm not disrespecting man because they're eating fufu and I'm eating cocoa bread. To me, it's food, innit? If you was hungry, you would need to eat what you need to eat. But my point is that in society, a lot of the time, we get compared to each other, and we get compared because we are the same. We're very similar, but we are the same. First things first, But what I've found sometimes is that I'm talking to like African men and they might want to shut something down and say, oh, you don't know about that. You couldn't know about those types of things because you're an English guy, you're an English youth. Big man. The British passport is very fucking powerful. I'm not thanking people for being colonisers and all that, but I'm just saying that you can move like a gangster with that passport. It holds respect. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to respectfully have a Caribbean passport. In someday soon, I very might so. And if I buy property in Africa, I would have an African passport as well, because I'm a businessman. Don't ramp with me. Don't ramp with me. Make sure you drop comments in the comment section as well, because we're doing this for the culture. Right. So I've found like that Caribbean people definitely do know quite a bit about the Caribbean because it's where they're from, right? I've been there a few times, Jamaica, Barbados, wanting and seeing and learning the heritage of the country, but understanding that slavery is deeply embedded in the country, right? It must be the same thing with Africa. I spoke to my parents, they went to Cape Town and they went to go and see where President Mandela was and all that. And I've always thought to myself, like, why would I want to see that? But there's a curiosity in it because there is pain and strength in that place where they used to hold him as a prison. You understand? So as black people, you kind of like get this kind of mystery energy from these types of places because you know what took place in these four walls. So no matter who you are, you have a level of respect. It's just something that you kind of get. And I get that when I was to go to a place like that, if I ever was to go to somewhere like that, I definitely would get that. I would understand that there's an energy inside the place, and this is, and how for me to lock in is for me to go to that place and soak up the energy, right? But we've always got an underlining tone to each other sometimes when we're at work or when we're in a place of competition. Work isn't even a place of competition, it's a place where you earn your money. But you have Caribbeans who look down on African people for whatever reason, and you have African people who look down on Caribbean people, you know. I have met African men before, and they said, because I've got a white gold tooth, yeah? So I've got a platinum tooth, sorry, I should say it properly. Not white gold, it's platinum. So I have met other African men when I'm at work, and they've assumed that I was Jamaican straight away, which is, it's an assumption. Jamaica is, anyway, people always think that you're from Jamaica when they say you're from the Caribbean. You can't be from anywhere else because they don't really know it. They never searched any of the other islands. But geography is not a lot of people's strongest points, and we all know that. Let's just keep it real. Most people don't know other places apart from the place where they're born. I found that with some African people as well. I mean, the common thing I would say with the Africans and the Caribbeans is we all love going back to our own country and not so much other countries. I understand why, because you're most welcome at where you're from, but when you are like a second generation or first generation like myself, British person, going back to the Caribbean, that home will never be your fucking home. They'll always see you as a foreigner. Just like any of the people who work in Britain and they go home to Ghana, Nigeria, they'll always see you as a foreigner. You're a foreign boy. And it is what it is, or a foreign person, even if even if you come from there, you would just be a foreigner. And some of that's to do with like accepting the title that you're given, innit? Just get along with it. It shouldn't hurt you too much, but you know that the other people don't see you as an original person as well. So that's interesting, but that's something people don't really say that much, but it's a true fact, you know. I could go to Barbados now, even though my nan is from Barbados and stuff, they will still see me as the foreign man. Do you understand? Even if I got the accent and all that, don't matter. The same thing happens with people in Africa as well, because I spoke to people about that at work and they've told me the same thing happened to them. So we've got quite a lot of similarities. My point of this video is, why do we always compare each other to each other like we're a rivalry or like we're going to fight in some type of ring? We ain't ever going to fight. Acceptancy is important for us to understand who we are. So I accept that I'm a black man, yeah? I accept that other black men think that I might not be as black as them because I don't do black mad stuff like they do, or be going to the places they be going to, or had certain food. Oh, you haven't tried sakava, you haven't tried this, you haven't tried that. Like, who gives a fuck, man? Do you think I want to be out here fucking mud banging every day? I don't care about that shit. I definitely care about trying different cultural food which tastes nice, but again, when you're not there, it's harder to get the real authentic thing. So I'll try and save my experiences for when I get to some of them places. And the pride and the ego that the men have, and even the women, you know, feeling themselves a bit too much. I remember when people used to say, you know, like some, I remember hearing white people say to me, oh yeah, some Jamaicans or some Caribbeans think that they got a chip on their shoulder and all that. Okay. Someone might feel like you have a chip on your shoulder as well, but again, feeling the need to say that it's a Pacific group, it's not necessary, you know. I've met nice African guys who I've got along with, and I've met other ones who have been difficult, who have felt that they know more than me because they're from Africa, but the education system, which might been through, might be slightly better than the one that they've been through. I mean, they might know other stuff what I don't know, but you need to know the basics sometimes, and the basics start with the basics at the end of the day, innit? And I think that we only have communication problems when people feel as if like they've tried their best or tried whatever they can do to communicate, you know. Example, got an African security guard at work, yeah, he told me something was up in a certain area. I said, oh, okay, no problem, I'll go and have a look. And then I saw him by there, so he decided to try to walk me to the place. I said, I don't need your help. I'm old enough and big enough to say that to people ASAP in their face, just because, again, I appreciate that you've been able to tell me that, where it is, but I don't need you to come over and stand over me and look over me like that. That is not needed for me. But it's same like when I've had some interactions with Caribbean people, I'll take the one what people are going to say. The one what people are going to say is when they go into Caribbean shops, it's the black woman at the till who's got her face pushed up and is moving as if like she don't want to be here. I've witnessed that myself. It's not nice. It's not inviting. Again, sometimes some women can be hormonal. You got to think about things like that. That's somebody's mum. So you got to think that she might not be having the best day. But that's something we need to change as customer service, because I feel that holds us back within business. I get it, we all can't be smiley jokey all the fucking time. The bills are running us red, but when people do see us in a line of business, I think there's a way which we should try to communicate to make it better for them and to make their experience a little bit better. I get it, a lot of big people don't want to play dolly ass for foolishness and all that. They ain't going to do it for the sake of it, but I think sometimes to change the stigma, you must change what people see. So I've had a few run-ins with African women, and I can always say that they were very polite. I've had very polite Caribbean women as well. Trying to treat them all the same like auntie is something that I continue to do, because I feel that in our culture, yeah, you see, when you treat people like aunties and uncles, then they have your level of respect. They have a level of respect coming from their age. We see that through and through within the black culture. So someone's age does generally sometimes give them a level of respect. But that level of respect can be abused sometimes, because I've had auntie ladies, African lady, tell me that she was going to pay me, turn up, done a job, she ducked me for the money. She was moving like a 419 as if she was a scammer boy. And yeah, but that's just one person. I never take that to heart and say that this is what they're like or this is what this person's like. She just done that because she's a bad person. Happened to be just African, but I mean, I would not let that experience for me be like, that's the reason why I don't like African women. No. She's just a fool. You get many fools in many races. Just like you have Uncle Toms. You got Caribbean men who are born in the Caribbean that just love a Becky, love a Sarah, love a Stacey. That's what they're like, innit? They can't go nowhere without running after no white women. But then again, you have African men that are like that. You know, what's that 90 day married in 90 days? Fiance at 90 days? I watched that the other day. Fucking hell. It's crazy. It's content now, innit? You don't know if people are fucking making it up nowadays. But I've been seeing that, you know, like the big white woman, old, with the young African guys just trying to get a card and all that. Might not be the case for everybody, of course, because that had been going on for years, innit? I don't know if people still do that shit. But if they do, they do. It's up to them. But I think through and through we have similarities, you get it? You have certain men that just love off the snow bunnies. Again, nothing wrong with who you start loving and all that. But everybody does it, if you get what I mean. The interracialness and stuff like that. I guess in some communities it's looked upon and frowned upon and all that, but, you know, that's your business, who you fall in love with, and you can't help that type of stuff. If it is true love, you know, and it's not just some type of passport or paperwork or something, or she got a little bit of money for you, or you think it's for you. Anyway, I digressed. So overall, my experiences haven't been too bad with people. I just know that there's a level of rivalry where Caribbean people have been seen in the media and in most parts of life to be quite successful when it comes to sport, basketball, music, and African people as well. But I would say more so Caribbean. African people go down the route of being doctors, lawyers, tech jobs and stuff like that, which we all need. We need representation for our black community across all these boards, in all these type of sectors, because it makes it easier for the next generation. But it definitely does. It doesn't always create a good level of rivalry as well, if you get what I mean. But there's a different generation of people coming through where it's like, I ain't gonna cuss you about being African and you ain't gonna cuss me about being Jamaican, you understand? Because he likes jollof and that person likes jerk chicken. That person likes fish cakes and this other person likes fufu. Do you get it? Fufu and fish cakes could be a mix one day inside a Caribbean shop one day, or some type of mixture of food, because you know you got these Pan-Asian and Jamaican places which sell food now. So the infusion of different foods are really starting to mix and will bring different people together. I've really noticed that. I just want some of the rivalry thing to go away and all that, because there are some people that walk around with a chip on their shoulder. Let's just keep it real. And them people, they never really run into anybody real, because somebody real would give them a slap instantly from that type of behaviour, whether they're Caribbean or African. I think in all communities, the age definitely gets people a level of respect. It doesn't mean that they're fucking wise or have got mad wisdom. You know, I really look up to, me myself, I look up to real Rastas that preach and are prophets, which is someone who's knowledgeable. That's what a prophet means. It's not to say that I couldn't learn anything off of anybody else. I have definitely tried, and I definitely always do try and situate myself in those situations so I can learn off of other black males, even when I'm at work. Like, I meet 60-year-old black guys and all that. I speak to them about life, you know what I mean? Try and get some gems from them. I think a lot of people have got gems to give, but it's a point of trying to transfer those gems over into like wisdom conversations, because wisdom conversations stick with you as a young black man, as a man of colour. They 100% do. Some of us are privy to have a little bit more than others because people can see a spark in you, or they can say that, do you know what, I like you, you know. I've had that many a times through a lot of different male figures in my life who are role models to some degree. I like the way you move, Jay. I like the way you go on, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we're just emulating what we see. I'm emulating how my dad would be in 2025. Do you get it? You got to be a model. You got to be on social media, and you got to be more talkative. You got to speak about some of the issues which are affecting you directly. And the things which affect me directly is this whole who's blacker issue. Who knows more? Who's more culturally in sync? From where I am, like in England and London, yeah, I've been lucky to be around quite a lot of culture when it comes to black and African. I went to a Pan-African school on Saturday. It's a Saturday school off Finsbury Park. Let me know if anybody knows about that one there. Akala used to go there actually. I do remember him. He used to have dreadlocks back then. But yeah, I've tried to learn my history as much as I can. I've learned a lot of stuff in COVID time on TikTok about black history, which was surprising, but I always want to know the truth and not some of the things which people have put out there. So I tend to research because his story, history can be his story. It's the way how he told things. And there's always two sides to the story. But us having the internet and allowing things like YouTube videos to educate us, allow people showing their country and showing what they get up to, educate you and to make you see it live in the flesh, to make you say that, you know what, I need to go to Tanzania, I need to go to Cape Town, I need to go to Lagos, I need to go to this place, I need to go to St. Kitts. Do you get it? Because I think some of the things what we've been told, they're not always the truth. Do you understand? Like, rest my nan's soul, yeah, but my nan used to tell me sometimes, you know, some of them people there that are outside, like in Barbados or something like that, you can't trust all of them. Just like you can't trust them here. But you have to watch yourself. And it's my nan, and that's her country, and she tells me, you know, you have to mind people, just like you have to mind people here, just like you'd have to mind people if you was in Africa. But when my dad did go to Cape Town, he did tell me that it was different, like the energy was there, it was different inside there. So I want to experience Africa for myself, because being in an all-black country, yeah, there's a different type of energy what you feel, and I'm going to tell you what it is right now, yeah. When I got off the plane, I think the first time when I went to Barbados, so I was grown by then, I felt like, wow, there's nobody here that could really be judging me for being black, because 80% of people are black here. There was it's like a relief was lifted off my shoulders, and I could say to myself, you know what? I don't know why that person's looking at me. It's not because I'm black, because all of us are black, so I don't know why he's looking at me, but I'm not really that bothered. But other places I would go and I would feel like that level of stress is back on me. Let me know if anyone's ever felt like that when you got somewhere, like a holiday place, like especially a black place. So you might have been somewhere in Africa that might have happened to you, or you might just have had it happen to you, I don't know. I felt that, and that felt different, and I was just like, wow, this is what it feels like, you know? Because me, myself, it's not a bad thing, but I could be predominantly around white people quite a lot, which doesn't bother me. But I do enjoy being around black people, period, because I'm black at the end of the day, you know? I enjoy being around people who are just people and don't judge you for your skin colour, but first of all, I'd be chilling around black people. I chill around white people as well, a lot of the time in the daytime. But that feeling I've only felt like that in Barbados. That's why I want to go to Africa, to see if it's the same type of feeling. I definitely feel it will be, man. I can't wait to go there, actually. If anybody's got any places where I should visit first in Africa, please drop it in the comment section. Or Caribbeans as well. Please drop where you think I should go in the Caribbean as well. I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Barbados. I was supposed to go to Montserrat and Antigua, but Montserrat's no longer available. But my grandparents are from Montserrat, so yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make this conversation about the difficulty which we have between us as groups, because we are groups which is pretty much the same. So why are we so separated? I think sometimes we're separated from the things which people depict about us, the things how people view us in ways which are not true, the underlying little arguments which we have with each other, of course, but nothing can't be not resolved. I know people are going to probably run to slavery and colonialism and the way we were sold as slaves, but that shouldn't allow us to have a rivalry or animosity towards each other. And there is sometimes an underlying animosity. Do you understand? Because oftenly when I'm chatting with like African people, African men, they're like, yes, my brother. Yes, my bro. We are bros. But we need to behave like it more time instead of only looking out for when you feel like it and prioritizing looking out for like African young men instead of all black young men. And the same for the women as well, isn't it? You know, I try and hail up people. And it's funny enough, I made a video not too long ago about the head nod which Caribbean people give each other, a little, or you might see someone, yeah. They don't really have that in Africa, but I think that there are some people who have picked up on that style which we do, and it's a sign of acknowledgement. But you're gonna have to watch that video when I put it out about that. But that's just something we have in our community, which I think which will make a lot more people feel more included, and it will be an easier way for you to say hello to someone who you don't know, start a friendship with someone who you don't know, but you just give them a little nod or you give them a little reason and say, yeah, how's it going and everything. This is how we're going to build bridges from the bridges what people have torn apart, because people have done that to us, pushed us away from each other, made us dislike each other. And when you check and you read through the lines, there's no reason why we're in some type of turmoil place. And I think sometimes it takes us time to visit those countries to see that what it really is for itself and not the things what people have been showing you. You know, growing up, yeah, I would always think that Africa's poor and all these types of things because, you know, you see shit on Oxfam. That's a lie, that's bollocks. They've got loads of money over there. Not everyone's got loads of money, but a wealthy place. They've got natural resources, things which actually really matter. Caribbean, lovely, beautiful place. I thought about moving there so many times, yeah. But I thought, how can I be going to a third world country sometimes? You know, like, I don't know if it's for me. It's more of a, when I do look at something like the Caribbean, it's more of a wind down, chill out, you know. But I would like to think that I'm not that stressful, do you know what I mean? That I need to chill out in that type of capacity. I get it, everybody does, but I mean, the slow pace of life isn't always the best for me. But I understand as you get older, that's what you want, a more slower pace of life. And I definitely say that Caribbean is definitely that. Food is beautiful, sun amazing. My skin would be glowing if I was out there. But I just don't know if there's enough infrastructure and stuff like that in place for what I would want to still do or what I would want to keep up with in the Caribbean. Just like Africa, there's a lot of corruption, man. You know, like a lot of backhanders. I've realised that you got to pay someone. I thought about pushing a business over in a Caribbean, but when I started speaking to a few people, there was so much backhanders that people wanted. I mean, it wasn't worth it, man. I'll be honest with you. You're bringing something to help people, because I wanted to do something for like charities, like build like a well, like fresh water well and stuff like that, clean water and stuff like that. I've got a company who would partner up with me, but there were so many people in between that wanted a drink. If I send this over, could I send another one? And this person needs you to pay them, and they would need you to speak to them. Fucking hell, man. I know nothing's easy, but that's the difficulty what I was facing. I guess I would face that in most places, but it needs to be more easier, man, because people can't get the help what can be given to them because everybody wants to drink and eat off it. It ain't that fucking big, man. And that's why I kind of like knocked that idea on the head. I might return to it when I get some more social clout, because I feel that talking to the right people in the right places is going to kind of go around that. But I guess it just seemed like everybody wanted paying. And, you know, like, I'm not making any money out of it. I'm doing it for the purposes of content, but I'm doing it for the purposes of helping people and, like, just widening my audience. Do you get it? I would do it in Africa. I would do it anywhere. I'd do it in the Caribbean and Africa. But we can't have all these people in the pocket, man. There isn't any money in it. Do you get it? I could just about get a company to sponsor me, to pay for my flight, to take me there. The rest of the stuff, like the filming and all that stuff, I'd have to do it myself. But that's an idea which I want to do. But that's the only thing stopping me. If anyone can help me with that idea, I'd definitely be appreciative, and I'd be thankful as well. But this is just a quick conversation just to talk about our differences, man. And there's not much differences apart from ego and pride, which is hard to put aside, especially when it comes to males and females as well. Putting your pride and ego aside so we can get along better. I know this isn't an ideal world. I know there's more problems than that. But we've got to start with the minor things so we can move on to the major things. And that way we put stuff behind us and just move forward, you know, because there's so many things that we could do together as African people and as Caribbean people, which we probably wouldn't need to include a lot of other people in. We could just do it ourselves if we came together on a mutual grounds. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next upload. Let's get it.